Have you ever wondered who you could have been if you just would have made a few different choices, taken a few more risks, or simply believed in yourself more? Well, in today's episode, we're diving deep into a confrontation that every single one of us has faced, meeting the person we could have become. What if I told you that by the end of this episode, you'd have the tools to ensure that when that day comes, you won't be filled with regret, but rather with pride? So stay tuned and let's embark on this cathartic journey together. Hey there, audacious parents. Welcome to the Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast, where we're not just about surviving, we're about thriving. If you're tuning in, you're not looking for just another feel-good, pat on the back kind of show. No, you're here because you're ready to disrupt the status quo. You're ready because you're here to challenge your limits and to step out of the comfort zone where we know growth never happens. This is not just your average, let's all be happy with our 9-to-5 lives kind of podcast. We're here to give you actionable strategies. We're here to dive deep into the world of side hustles, digital marketing, and smart income boosting tactics. Why, you may ask? Because we're designed for parents like you, parents juggling family expenses, childcare, and the elusive me time. We're not just about making money, though. We're about designing a life that you dictate, not one that's been prepackaged in a soul-sucking 9-to-5 box. So, if you're ready to break free and design a life that aligns with your dreams, design a life that aligns with your family, you're in the right place. The Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast. What is up, my fellow success seekers? Picture this. You're in a room, and as the door slowly creaks open, you come face to face with someone eerily familiar. It's you. But wait, it's not the you from today. It's the you could have been. It's the you as the result of the dreams that you never chased. The you that's the result of the risks you never took and the life you never lived. How different are they from who you are right now? It's a haunting thought, isn't it? And it's perfectly captured in a quote I stumbled upon recently. And here's how it goes. On your last day on earth, the person you became will meet the person you could have become. Now, it's from an anonymous. I don't know the name of the person. It was actually written anonymous. Let that sink in for a moment. On your last day on this great spinning blue globe, the person that you became, that you are, will come face to face and meet the person you could have become. It's a powerful reflection. It begs the question, how do we bridge the gap between who you are and who you could be? How do we ensure that when that inevitable day comes, we're not filled with what ifs, we're not filled with regrets? And we were talking about transitional identities 2 episodes back, but today we're not just pondering this thought, we're going to dive deep in. We're going to provide you with some actionable steps to ensure that when that day comes, you're not looking to the eyes of a stranger, but rather meeting a good old friend. We're going on a journey of self-discovery, of potential realized, and of dreams achieved. So buckle up, my friends, because this is one ride you do not want to miss. I was thinking about it not so long ago. I remembered reading about Arnold Schwarzenegger in the early days. You know, the Arnold Schwarzenegger who was the Hollywood star. I'm actually talking about before he was the Hollywood star, before he was the governor of California, before he was known for I'll be back. He was a young man from Austria with dreams of bodybuilding greatness. Now, some of you may know this, some of you may not. But it wasn't just about muscles or the competitions for those muscles. Arnold once said, the mind is the limit. As long as the mind can envision the fact that you can do something, you can do it. He recognized that his physical health was intrinsically linked to his mental well-being. Every weight he lifted, every meal he planned, it wasn't just for his body. It was for his mind, his spirit, and his dream. And this brings us to a fundamental truth about potential. Living a good lifestyle goes beyond the superficial. It's not just about the reflection in the mirror. It's about the reflection of our inner state. When our body is nourished and active, our mind is sharper, our mood is elevated, and we're in this optimal state, we can chase our dreams, we can tackle challenges, and we can rise to our full potential. But here's the question. Where do you start? How do we lay down this foundation? Tracy, I'm already 60 years old. Well, it all begins with one step. It doesn't have to be a marathon or this drastic diet change. No. Start with one healthy habit this week. Just one. One habit. I started this many, many moons ago, and it completely changed my life because then I added a second one, then a third one. And what is yours? I don't know. Maybe it's committing to drinking 8 glasses of water a day or taking a brisk 10-minute walk before diving into your daily tasks. You see, it's these small changes that lead to big transformations. Remember, it's not about perfection. It's about progression.
The Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast.
Here's a question for you. Have you ever set a New Year's resolution only to abandon it by, say, February 1st? Yeah, I think we all have. We've all been there. But what if I told you that the problem, it's not your ambition, it's your timeline? Building on the foundation of our potential, let's dive into the mindset shift that might just change the way you approach your goals. But before we do that, let me give you a hard pill to swallow. Most people are going to overestimate what they can do in a year, and they're going to grossly underestimate what they can do in a decade. Yeah. Think about it. You've set goals. I'm going to get it done this year. You set it on January 1st. I'm going to get it done this year. Did you overestimate it? Yeah. I'm going to get it done within the next 10 years, and you get it done in 2. Yeah, you underestimate it. It's something about our natural psyche. See, we live in this world of instant gratification, but true visionaries like you, because you're still here listening to this podcast, almost 7 minutes into it, you understand the power of time. What does thinking long-term truly mean? Well, to me, it's not about having every single step mapped out. Life's far too unpredictable and plans change far too much for that. But having a direction, a North Star, that, my friend, is the key. It's about knowing where you want to go and being completely relentless and moving towards it every single day, even if the path isn't always clear. So, how can we harness this visionary mindset? How can we set ourselves up for success, not just in the coming months, but in the coming years and decades and so forth? Well, we can do this by setting a 10-year vision and then visualize it. Where are you? You've probably heard me, if you listen to many of these podcasts, you've heard me call it your Vista vision, right? You've pictured yourself out into the future. I mean, way out there, 10 years, maybe 20. Where are you? What are you doing? Who are you with? But don't just see it. Heck, create a vision board. You can't see mine. It's tucked back behind here right now, and I can't change the camera to do that. But I want you to do more than just see it. I want you to feel it inside, in your heart. And heck, get to the point where you can smell it, or it makes your hair stand on end just thinking about it. Feel it. Embrace it. Walk through that dream home of yours. Walk up to that dream spouse that you have. Walk up and hug those amazing kids that you envision or that you have now. Now, break it down. What milestones do you need to hit each and every year to make that vision a reality? Remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. With a very clear vision, every single step, no matter how small, brings you that much closer towards your destiny, towards your destination. With our vision set, it's time to embrace the challenge and challenge the boundaries of our comfort zone. So hang around. We're going to dive in and we're going to explore the essence of playing big. I'm reminded of a story of a young woman. I believe her name was Maya. Yeah, I think it was Maya. She grew up in a small town. Right? Everyone knew everyone and life was predictable. But Maya had this flair for fashion. She had a passion for fashion, often creating unique designs and outfits for her friends. But in a town where everyone wore the same style, her dreams of becoming a fashion designer, it seemed kind of far-fetched, right? So one day, a visitor to the town saw Maya's designs and was just completely, blown away. And he asked her, why are you here designing for a handful of folks when there's a world out there that could be your stage? That question lit a fire in Maya. She moved to New York. She faced countless rejections, but she dared to continue to dream big. Maya's brand, is recognized globally, and she's a testament to what's possible when you refuse to play small. Now, Maya's journey wasn't just about fashion. It was about breaking down barriers and redefining her own limits. Playing small, staying in our comfort zone, it's safe, it's familiar, it feels good, but it doesn't serve anyone, especially not you. Greatness isn't achieved by playing safe. It's achieved by challenging the norms, by bucking the odds, by daring to dream, and by refusing to let the world dictate your potential. Don't be the flea with the lid over your head. Your potential is far beyond that. So, how do we step into the game of greatness? How do we shift from playing small to playing big? Well, let's pause for a moment. Let's take a moment to reflect. Identify one area in your life where you feel you're playing it safe. Maybe it's a business idea that you've shelved. Maybe it's a skill that you've hesitated to learn, or a relationship you've been afraid to mend. Now, ask yourself, what is one bold step that you could take as soon as you're done listening to this podcast? What is that one bold step that you can take towards accomplishing that? Remember, every giant leap starts with a single step. Dare, my friends, dare to take it. Okay?
The Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast.
Now, as we step into our greatness, it's essential to remember the responsibilities that come with that. With greatness comes power. With power comes responsibility, right? With great power comes great responsibility. So we're going to dive into the power of accountability and why it's the cornerstone of true success. Have you ever caught yourself saying something like, "It's not my fault," or "I just didn't have the time"? Yeah, we've all been there. Finger pointing, shifting blame, right? But what if I told you that every time you do that, you are literally giving away a piece of your power? Building on our journey from the foundation of potential and that visionary mindset and the game of greatness, now we're going to dive into a truth that might sting just a little bit, but my friends, I'm sorry, it's crucial for our growth. And here it is. Every excuse you make is a step away from your potential. Every time that you shift blame somewhere else, I don't care, somewhere else, you're not just avoiding responsibility, you're avoiding growth. I get it. I didn't like it. It's a hard pill to swallow, but hold up, there's a silver lining. Owning up to your actions, owning up to your decisions, and yes, even owning up to your mistakes is so damn empowering. It puts you right squarely in the driver's seat. Instead of just being this passive passenger along the road of life, you become the active driver, holding on to that steering wheel of life and choosing the direction that you go in. Accountability isn't about blame. It's about reclaiming your power. So, how do we cultivate this power of accountability? I can hear it. You're questioning. I hear it in my ears right now. How do we shift the mindset from excuses to one of solutions? Well, here's a challenge for you for this week. Each time you catch yourself making an excuse, pause, take a breath, reflect, and replace the excuse with a solution. Did you miss a workout? Schedule one for tomorrow. Did you not finish a task that's going to be that little step towards your goal? Allocate time for it first thing in the morning. You see, by replacing your excuses with solutions, you're not only taking responsibility, you're damn well taking control. And with accountability in your toolkit, it's time to explore the art of adaptability. So, we're going to dive into that next, and we're going to uncover the power of flexibility in our ever-changing world. Now, before we go there, I want to tell you about Bob. Bob was determined to assemble a piece of IKEA furniture without a manual. Right? I'm sure that's made more than one of you giggle. He's all like, how hard could it be? Well, hours turned into days, and what was supposed to be a bookshelf looked more like a modern piece of art. His wife, amused, finally handed him the manual, and he, with a sheepish grin, he realized he'd been using the wrong screws the whole damn time. All because he was too damn stubborn to take guidance, to follow directions. Now, while we'll probably chuckle at Bob's furniture fiasco, inside of that story is a deeper truth that I want you to hear. Being rigid, being stuck in our ways, can often close doors, close opportunities, close off life. We miss out on opportunities, we miss out on solutions, and we miss out on experiences simply because we're not damn well open to them. We won't pick up the manual. Now, see? Flexibility, however, on the other hand, that's our master key to open a world of opportunities, to allow us to navigate challenges with grace and find alternative paths to our goals. How do we embrace this dance of adaptability? How do we ensure we're not pulling a Bob in our own lives? Yeah? Well, go ahead. Yes, please give me the manual. Thank you. Well, the next time you face some resistance or that you hit a roadblock, pause, take a step back, breathe, and ask yourself, is there another way? Instead of pushing against the obstacle, perhaps see if there's a way to go under it, to go over it, to go to the right or to the left of it. Or maybe you have to drill a hole through it. Embracing adaptability doesn't mean giving up on your goals. It means finding an alternative route to reach them.
The Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast.
Now that we have adaptability in our stride, it's essential to remember that while there are no shortcuts to success, there's a key ingredient that can accelerate our journey. And we're going to go there next. And in doing so, we're going to debunk the myth of the magic bullet. Yeah, and dive into the real secret behind success. As I've mentioned a couple of times, we live in a world of instant gratification. We have 15-second videos on TikTok, we have reels and all these things. Whether it's instant noodles, Instagram, or instant messaging, we're conditioned to expect results now. But when it comes to success, is there really a magic bullet or an overnight sensation? No, maybe, all right? But let's build on our journey here, right? Our journey of adaptability, and let's explore a take that might just make you rethink the allure of shortcuts. Meet Red. Red is another aspiring musician. He was always on the lookout for the next big thing to skyrocket his career. One day, he stumbled upon an ad promising instant fame through a secret formula, he says with air quotes. Without a second thought, he invested his savings, hoping for his big break. Months passed by, and while he did gain a few followers, and I'm not going to underplay it, he did gain a few followers, the fame, it was fleeting. Disheartened, Red almost completely gave up. But then he met a seasoned musician who shared his years of wisdom. And one of the key pieces he shared was true art, just like true success, is not built overnight. It's crafted note by note, rhythm by rhythm, day by day. Red took this to heart. He dedicated himself to his craft. A few years later, he found the success he dreamed of, not through shortcuts, but through dedication and passion. You see, Red's story, Red's journey underscores a truth that so many of us have forgotten. Success, and I mean true success, true potential, they aren't unlocked by magic formulas or magic elixirs or secret shortcuts. They're achieved through consistent hard work, through dedication and a commitment to the journey and its daily grind. The small steps taken consistently lead to monumental achievements. I have to ask this question. How do we resist the allure of the magic bullet, right? How do we stay committed to the path of genuine growth? Well, reflect on your goals. Identify one area where you've been looking for that quick fix or that easy way out. Now, commit to the journey, not just the destination, the journey. Embrace the process, embrace the learning, and embrace the growth. Remember, it's the journey that will shape you, not just the end goal. You have to be shaped by the time you get to the goal in order to get the goal. All right, so there you have it. The myth of the magic bullet debunked. So let's gear up with a few final reflections. Stay right there. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be drawing together all the threads of this wisdom that we've just explored in today's episode. Now, I want to leave you with a thought to ponder to do this. If today, this moment, right now, of course, after you finish the podcast, was your last day, and you were looking back on the tapestry of your life, the highs, the lows, the valleys, the mountains, the fields, the triumphs, the trials, would you be proud of the person you've become? The answer doesn't matter to me. Well, it matters to me, but it doesn't matter what I think. Would you be content with the legacy you've left behind? In the book I wrote many, many years ago called Your Success at Last, I did a version of this exercise called the rocking chair test. And this is where you picture yourself in your golden years. Maybe you're in your 70s, 80s, and for me, that's just a couple of decades away. And you're sitting on your front porch, on your back deck, by your pool, whatever it is that you prefer, with your special someone, maybe holding hands, in a rocking chair, just kind of rocking back and forth. Maybe your grandkids are out in the yard playing, maybe your dogs, whatever it might be. You're looking out over everything, and you're thinking about the years and the decades that you have shared with this person, the parts you've done by yourself, and you're thinking back, would I do anything differently? Am I proud of who I am right now in this chair, holding the hand of the one I love and looking back over my life? It's a profound question. It's one that underscores the very essence of everything we've discussed over the past couple of episodes. You see, to me, life is a journey. It's a dance of moments and memories. It's not just about the destination. It's about the person we become along the way. And I think that destination eludes us until we become that person. Embracing the journey of becoming, embracing the journey of evolving, and embracing the journey of growing, that is where the real magic happens. Because when you truly transform into the person you aspire to be, you just don't meet your potential. You meet the person you were destined to be. Now, before we sign off, I want to offer up a small request. If today's episode resonated with you, if it sparked a fire, or maybe just provided a moment of clarity, share it. Share the podcast with friends, family, colleagues, anyone you feel that might need a little nudge towards their own potential. And if you've enjoyed our time together, please take a moment, rate, review, subscribe. Your support helps us reach other souls out there, igniting more journeys of transformation. And as always, remember, think successfully and take action.
Hey, my Dark Horse Entrepreneur parents, thanks for tuning in. If this episode struck a chord, share it with a fellow parent hustler. Let's grow our tribe that thrives, not just survives. For more insights and a community that totally gets it, join our Facebook group at www.darkhorseschooling.com/tribe. Think successfully and take action.